I am resident of Culver for YouTube. Jules Sains, that is my buddy Gordon Dymowski. That's my buddy Patrick McCray. That's my buddy Alan Gallant. That's my buddy Daniel Culver. We're here to review An American Werewolf in London, written and directed by John Landis. Uh, man, what a movie. Selected by Gordon. Said, Gordon, buddy, why'd you select this one?
Oh, this has always been one of my favorite movies. I mean, I first saw it in, I think, 82 or 83. My parents took me on Tuesday dollar night. It's a local theater. If you brought the ad on Tuesday night, you only paid $1 instead of the usual kind of really super high cost, which was $1.75. And it was a triple bill because it was Paul Schrader's Cat People, Halloween 2, An American Werewolf in London. And I had wanted to see American Werewolf for the longest time. I remember Cat People was cool. I didn't really care for Halloween 2. But American Werewolf, I love this film because it has the right it's got the right mix of horror and comedy, and it never overstays its welcome. It's one of those. It feels a lot shorter than it is, at least when I view it. But I don't think that's a bad thing because I think it knows how to get to the next point really well.
Yeah. Patrick, when did you first see this?
It was not 1981.
Cool. Cool.
1981 when it came out.
Hmm.
Cool. Uh, Alan, when did you first see this?
Memory's fuzzy. I keep thinking I saw it at a drive-in theater, but I'm not sure if that's true or whether I saw it later on. Would have been sometime in between its opening and 85, but it's like it kind of fogs out. So I'm not sure exactly when, but it was fairly recent to its opening.
Yeah. Daniel, when did you first see this movie?
Actually, believe it or not, today, but I have seen like pictures of like scenes from it though.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. What did you think, Daniel?
I would say I'd say it's good for like I wouldn't say it's as good as like Halloween, but I would say like for for a horror comedy, it's pretty good, you know.
Okay. Alan, what did you think of this movie?
I thought it was great. The black humor in it, but also the classic scenes of going to the village and having everybody's eyes shifting around and all the weird, sort of vibe of it. That comes from much earlier films. You see some of that in some of the vampire, the Dracula style films and some of that sort of thing. So yeah, they definitely pulled some classic stuff, along with adding some very much up to date sort of psychology and zombie ethic and all sorts of weird stuff. So it had a
Yeah.
lot of good stuff in it. Enjoyed it very much.
Patrick, what did you think of this movie, man?
Enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was very witty. Griffin Dunn steals the movie. Pretty clearly. And uh, the certainly it has, the greatest werewolf transformation I think will ever be in any movie. Even though
Hmm.
Rick Baker has done other werewolf films, this got I think the permanent Oscar. It got special mega effects. I think recognized for the first time as an annual thing at the Oscars,
Yeah.
and that's a great thing, and it's well earned. It's funny because I don't like the werewolf in the movie. I
Hmm.
know I'm supposed to, and horror snobs have told me for years, have taught the movie at me that I was supposed to really like the fact that it was just kind of like basically a great big wolf. And I'm much fonder of the sort of the Jack Pierce, more human than wolf-like wolf in the movie. But it's so when you have something that's so emblematic as an American werewolf, I guess it's better than the American Werewolf, which
Yeah.
would really be telling me what I was supposed to watch.
Uh-huh.
But Howling came out around this time,
Mhm.
And I feel like there was kind of an unconscious rivalry. When I was a kid, I think I liked The Howling more. As an adult, I watched The Howling for an essay for the Monster Serial series I did with Wallace McBride, and I thought it was just dreadful. I couldn't believe what a no offense, what a dog it was. Uh, but I mean, really, no pun intended. No pun intended. And I was delighted at how American Werewolf held up. So yeah, there we go. I think both it and the Dante movie suffer from the uh kind of the same sense of humor that would doom stuff like Scary Movie and Epic Movie and stuff like that, which is we're just going to present something that is has wolf in the title or moon in the title or something like that, and ergo it shall be funny. And those are moments that actually distract me from both films. That I think, like, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, Bad Moon Rising, I get it. Um, where it's just, I think it's kind of like, I don't know, recognizing that, oh yeah, I get it. Those are things that undercut the movie a little bit. I'm curious to see a cut of the movie that would be a little leaner, that would not have those, just because it's like, yeah, 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 John, I get it. It's the moon, and he's turned on. But yeah, overall, those are minor things, and maybe they're not, because I like so much of the sense of the humor in the movie. Otherwise, the zombie community and
Mhm.
things like that. And it was a special delight because I went to London in '84, spotting where that film theater was
Oh yeah.
in London. It was a fairly prominent spot.
Yes.
So that was really cool. I mean, it was an introduction to my adopted hometown. And so I really appreciated that. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Gordon, what do you think of this movie, dude?
I mean, I liked it. It's always been a favorite. I do agree with Patrick about the werewolf because um, it's once you see that end sequence, it's pretty easy to tell that it's basically just a guy on all fours with a scary wolf mask. I mean, it would have helped, um, if and I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. John Landis showed some degree of restraint in terms of just like showing the head or showing a claw, but John Landis made the Blues Brothers, and I don't think restraint in filmmaking are two words you usually use with John Landis.
Not much. Yeah.
I first saw this movie in the hospital when I was really sick. When I first got diagnosed with blood sugar. Um, and I watched it on television. Nurse walked in. What are you watching? An American Werewolf in London. Uh, so, but I will say this movie does a lot of things because I actually like the werewolf transformation, not just transformation, but how the werewolf looks. And coming from a guy who's a huge fan of The Howling, I'm going to tell you exactly why. The reason I like it a lot here is during the film, you have the main characters before Griffin Dunn's character gets killed. Not just debating the whole pentangle thing, the 5-pointed star, but you have characters debating, hey, is a werewolf really real in a sense? And I like that aspect of it because hypothetically, though this is pure fiction and fun, okay, if you had to debate, if it also gets into culture because you're walking into a bar where these people have the pentangle on the wall, burning candles, and they've been doing it for probably forever, for a long time, and they don't want to explain it to outsiders. And that's
Right.
exactly what the two young American men are. They're outsiders. It's
Yeah.
sort of like Dark Shadows in a sense. Do we really want to explain things to you? No, not really. Just leave. Just go. I like all that stuff in this movie because it works. B, it makes a lot of sense what they're going with it. And even the doctor, when he goes to East Proctor, he just determines, oh, I just think these people are crazy.
Yeah.
It's like he's. I like that you have a doubting Thomas and it's a doctor because it's like,
Mhm.
okay,
Well, it also underscores the one of the points of the themes of the story is the psychology of lycanthropy. Big time. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
Joel, you talk about that. It does bring up a lot of interesting kind of points. I mean, hey, why didn't these people move away?
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's probably something with local economy,
Yes.
tradition, blah 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 blah.
Yes.
But at the same, like when you look at the stuff like the weird village that the guy he comes from in Night of the Demon,
Mhm.
well, that is kind of more. That's a godlike creature that is within their culture. Hang on, somebody at the
Yeah.
door. But the other thing is, why they move away? They got this deadly thing out there, so. Uh, okay, why didn't they move away? Or why didn't they get a posse and shoot this thing? How many are there? Now, that's also part of the mystery.
Yeah.
Yes.
That I think, and so okay, common sense really wrestles with romance in
Yes.
that because it's a very romantic setting.
Mhm.
And but God, I mean, I would either move away or buy some silver bullets and take the goddamn thing out. And it makes me wonder, well, how many are there? Is there a weird rite of passage? I know he did a sequel which I didn't see. I would have much preferred, pushing in Wicker Man style on that village to
Mhm.
try and understand this culture better. And I know it's a mystery and it's more interesting not to know and ambiguity and all of that. But I'm really because it's so illogical, but they're so dedicated to it, and the movie is so dedicated to the truth of it. I want to know more.
Yeah, the village seems more like, well, there's always a village in werewolf movies, so we need it, versus the idea that, like, how did they learn about the pentagram? Like, how did,
Well, yeah, exactly.
that
Tell
kind of
me.
thing, because I
If
know
they know
we're,
enough about it,
hmm
they would know enough to wipe it out, which suggests that somehow it's part of the ecology
hmm
of this area. It's somehow necessary to it or intrinsic to it, and they're all cursed to stay.
Yeah, like if they leave, then the werewolf comes and tracks them down and kills
A
them.
Brigadoon kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Some curse that affects everybody, not just the people that are werewolves.
hmm
Yeah. That might be an interesting thing. Like you said, a Brigadoon sort of thing.
And it's not bad that the movie didn't get into it because it's just a big mystery. And the movie is so dedicated to its sense of internal consistency that it works. It just and so I'm not blaming the movie for not having that, but boy, I sure would have enjoyed a sequel or a sidequel or something like that got into it.
They got into it. Yeah.
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 Makes
Well, I
sense.
think too, the villagers are so whatever with their own fear of the werewolf. They, in a sense, though they know about the pentangle, their sins they're ignorant to too. They just think if they stay there, they'll be protected or
Is it a,
whatever.
is it a
But we
fear or do they kind of fetishize it?
that
Mhm.
too. But also, I think with this movie, you do learn they're a bit wrong because the werewolf
A
it doesn't.
bit,
Yeah, he right.
a
They're
bit.
a bit wrong because it's like, okay, it doesn't matter if you stick to the roads or whatever because London's one it goes right on the roads in London and just attacks people. So
Right.
all their little superstitious stuff, other than again, we don't know for sure about the pentangle because we just see it. So maybe for whatever reason, a person who's the werewolf can't go in there. We don't know. Again, that's a question that's not really answered either. Though I love it, I love the visual of it. It's cool as shit.
hmm
But I sort of wish we would have got an explanation. Okay, does that really work? I don't know.
hmm Yeah,
I do
well,
like the build of the introduction of lycanthropy in the film. Like you do
Mhm.
not see the werewolf until you see that brief attack, real brief attack. But before that, it's a stalking sort of thing. It's the camera is stalking these two guys in the moors and all of this sort of thing. And that's a nice build there, I think. That's tried and true and it works. But I agree with all you guys in terms of the werewolf. I prefer, except Jewel, you like the werewolf, especially
Yeah.
transformation. We all like the transformation, I
hmm
think. But in terms, I grew up with the Dark Shadows werewolf. I like the humanoid werewolf.
And
That's my thing.
it had been so long since we'd seen a werewolf on film.
Yes.
I get,
Mhm.
although I somehow feel like The Howling came out a few months before this. Um,
It was close. It
Yeah,
was
feels like that was like a late winter, early spring movie, maybe like March, like February or March. And this was later, like my chronology could be wrong. And that spoiled me a little bit because they were a little more, anthropomorphic. Although they just kind of look dumb now. They
Yeah,
just
yeah. Both films were in 81, so they were
yeah.
probably within
they
a few months
were
of each other.
they were. So The Howling, I'm looking it up right now. The Howling was released in March. You were right about that. And then American Werewolf was released in August.
June, August. Wow. Okay.
August.
Yeah. Real late. That was a
Late
good
summer.
summer too. That was summer of God. We had
81.
we had Superman 2. We had Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a For Your Eyes Only. It was a good
Yeah.
good summer for
Yeah.
movies.
Hot summer.
Back when we had those.
I think with the Howlings, somebody who that is my favorite werewolf movie. With the Howling, it gets a little more detailed into the transformation of the werewolf. Once you become a werewolf, you cease to be the human that you were, and your skin is more like a suit a person would wear in a sense.
Yeah.
That and two, it starts off a lot like a serial killer movie. This guy is
Oh, sure.
stalking this
Mhm.
reporter.
Hmm.
It's much more malicious than what this movie is with the werewolf.
I wish Robert Picardo had played his character from Inner Space as a werewolf. I'm just saying, if we're going to put Joe Dante and Robert Picardo together, that's what I want to
Right.
see.
Right.
The cowboy.
The Howling is interesting because it is an all-star cast. It really is
Yeah,
an
it
all-star
is.
cast. You got Patrick McNee, you've got
Tom Atkins and his mustache.
Wallace, yeah, Kevin McCarthy, John Carradine, Slim Pickens. It's really cool, and I also kind of like the vibe of
That
the
stuff's great.
Howling being a clan. Being a clan of werewolves.
It's almost the only werewolf movie where everyone's more interesting as a human who knows they're a werewolf
Yes,
than they are when they're a werewolf.
because the characters develop, and the werewolf is like snarl, attack, kind of thing.
And the other thing I do like about the Howling is that most of them have such glee about it. It's the
Yes,
opposite of Larry Talbot, who just wanders
is
around
guilt
4 or 5
ridden,
movies going, "I just want to die." It's like,
right,
do it already.
and do it really seriously. Hang yourself, do something. Um, yeah, the idea that they are definitely into it. It strikes a much more evil chord than a curse that you can't help.
Yeah.
You can't do
If they'd
that.
been Alaskan, they would have been definitely Inuit.
Yes. Ooh. Yes.
Jordan,
They would have been or in the Algonquin Northeast, they would have been like Wendigos and things like that. So,
Yeah. Be interesting to have a convention.
yeah.
The
All
United
these,
Nations of
all these
Werewolves kind of
wood
thing. That's a
spirits
fun,
and
fun idea.
monsters. Yeah.
That'd be a fine Howling sequel. I
It
mean,
would.
I don't fault me. I do like,
Yeah.
of the Howling 2, which I think was the first. It was really the first movie that was so bad I found it just hilarious and went to see it with friends over and over, just
To
because it
talk
was so
about it. Yeah.
astoundingly
Um,
lousy in so many different
Yeah.
hilarious ways.
Yeah.
Reb Brown.
Yeah.
Jordan. Seriously,
I have completely forgotten The Howling. Like I've seen it on video,
right,
but
Mhm.
like, and I'm not saying this to disparage the conversation,
right.
but like I have no memory of it.
It's
The
worth
only thing I
watching
remember
again.
might be
It is.
the only thing I remember. I'm not sure if it's The Howling or The Howling 2, where Dee Wallace turns into a poodle.
Yeah, no, that's Howling. That's Howling.
That's how
Okay,
It's
so
worth. She's a cute werewolf. She's
She
very cute
is.
werewolf. She's adorable.
She's a cute
Um,
actress, so they didn't want
Yeah,
to
it's
build up
it's
that.
worth seeing, and it's worth seeing for you because of maybe honestly Patrick McNee's best performance I've seen. He's really good in the movie,
He
Mhm.
is.
and he plays it. I never realized that Patrick McNee had such an ambiguity to him, that there was kind of a slight sense of menace. And now when I go back and watch the Avengers, I see that.
see that. Yeah, that
Yeah,
gentleman veneer, but there's
but
also
there's something
this
else
other
going
stuff
on
going
there.
on.
And
Yeah,
but the Howling really brought that to the surface, at age of 10, very vividly.
yeah.
Hmm.
I tell you the best like werewolf ever, in my opinion. Like not like male and werewolf in the same movie is the Monster Squad because to me
Nards.
him picking up the phone, he's gonna kill your son. He's aware of what he is.
Yeah.
He wants to die.
That's an interesting take. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Hmm.
different take. Yeah,
Tom Noonan. See the werewolf in that? Tom Noonan.
can't
I think he
remember.
is.
And ironically, there's actually, I think on Tubi, there's a documentary about the Monster Squad called Werewolves
Wolfman's
Have
got.
Nards.
Yeah, yeah. A weird bit of trivia. Catherine Lee Scott in her office has a painting done by the guy who played Dracula in that movie,
Oh,
Cool.
Duncan
Duncan
Regehr?
Regger. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. He's a fine painter.
Awesome,
Good actor, too.
awesome.
Um,
Let's see. Cast. I think Tom Noonan is Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what Noonan was.
Yeah. And Jonathan Gries as the Wolfman,
She related to
and
Tom
Carl
Grease.
Thibault as the Wolfman. Also,
Did you see if Jonathan Grease was related? I know it was a weird one. It was related to Tom Grease.
that's
Because
fine.
Tom Grease was a frequent Heston director. He directed Will Penny and
Right,
was Heston's stuntman. I think prior to that,
right. Let me see.
can't be that
Yep,
many guys.
yep. He is the son of writer, director, and producer Tom Gries.
I'll be damned.
Yeah,
Yeah, interesting heritage.
yeah. He's around my age. He's a couple years older than me, so we're the same generation. Jonathan, I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
he's
was
California, born right into the Hollywood scene.
yeah.
So,
nice, nice. What's some of you guys' favorite scenes in this movie? Daniel?
I'd go with when he transformed, that was pretty cool. And I would also say like another one was, like his victims after they were already dead, like and they were convincing him to die basically. Oh,
yeah.
Hmm.
The what I refer to as the zombie squad. It's not,
Yeah.
like that.
yeah, and it's true. That kind of does steal the show, much of it anyway. Uh, those whole scenes where he's gradually falling apart and telling him to kill himself and all this sort of thing. And it's funny in
And
places.
an interesting movie would have been, I guess, a sidequel or something that would have been just focusing on Griffin Dunn's character.
Mm,
When he's not in and around, it would take place concurrently with this film, in
yeah.
and around when he's not dealing with David Naughton. And
What else is he doing?
yeah,
Right.
you could like Saw, I think like 3 and 4
Yeah.
were happening simultaneously. That'd be a
Well, David
fun
Naughton's
movie
off
to
doing
see.
Making It or whatever. He's
Yeah, he's falling apart. He looks at his watch. Oh God, I'll be back. It's a thing.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. My favorite scene is any scene Griffin Dunn's in because
I was about to say, yeah, Griffin
Yeah,
Dunn
he's
steals the
he's.
movie.
You were right. You said initially he steals the movie. He does in a lot of ways. He does. He's very good.
Yeah.
And he is what, the son of Dominic Dunn, I believe.
Hmm.
He is, and he's the
Yeah.
star of the film Me and Him,
Yeah.
which I can't say enough bad things about, but I love it. It's almost impossible to watch. It's, I think, the most tasteless movie I've ever seen. This says a lot. Certainly, I don't want to taste the co-star.
Yeah. Griffin Dunn is also good at playing. He's a personal favorite douchebag on any aspect of the Law and Order franchise.
Uh-huh.
Does he show up in that?
He's shown up. He was, I think, a pornographer in SVU. He was in the first season of
God,
Criminal
Perfect.
Intent. He was he was, I know he was like, I'm tempted to say he was a lawyer who was coked out and had like multiple girlfriends and was killing them because they were like, oh well, I want to get close to you, and why don't you divorce your wife? And so yeah, if you need a sleaze bag and you're Dick Wolf, you call Griffin Dunn.
Uh, Creepy boy.
Had a good Vorta.
Alan, what's some of your favorite scenes?
I just like the build up. I really like the build up. I mean, I like the whole movie, obviously. I like the psychology of it. I like the relationship. I like the classic stuff. And the beginning of it has a lot of that classic stuff in it. The stalking of these two galoots who are, out of their depth, and suddenly they're in the middle of the moors and all this sort of thing, and going to the inn and all of that stuff. It's like I just turn the color off my television set when I watch those scenes because
Your puffy Eddie Bauer vest won't save you now.
that's right. That's right. And it didn't save any of us in the 80s, my friends.
Then our arms were freezing.
Yes, it's true. But yeah, it's all that build up stuff, the scenarios leading up to the attack and all that sort of thing.
Cool, cool. Some of my favorite scenes are when the doctor goes to East Proctor and he starts talking to the people there. And then when he comes back and he's talking to the nurse who's dating the main character who's banning him. And when they're in the taxi together and the taxi driver is talking about the attacks and he's like, stop the car. He's realizing it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the moment in the movie. It's like, okay, none of it was fake. None of it was a dream.
Right.
It's the doctor.
The guy that plays the doctor.
He passed away recently.
John Woodbine.
Okay.
Yep. He just recently passed away, I believe.
Yeah, about a few months
Unsung hero
ago.
in the movie.
Yeah.
I forget his character is there. And when I think back on the movie, and then when I watch the movie, he's pivotal.
He is totally pivotal. Yeah.
And
That's an example of an actor who really serves the film. So seamlessly. He's just, he's so intrinsic to the movie. I think one of the things that helps is that he was an actor I had never seen. And so it really felt very real. And I should have remembered Jenny Agutter, but I really didn't.
Because Jenny wasn't really, frontliner a lot of her.
But she's terrific.
She is terrific. Absolutely.
She really fulfills on the promise that, she has in Logan's Run, where she doesn't really have a lot of interesting things to do. No one really does, except maybe Peter Ustinov, and then he's just weird. So, yeah.
She's going to be in other movies, too, that help her. So,
Amanda Donahoe, and Helen Mirren for a while were the holy British trinity of naked British actresses.
Mm-hmm.
That they've had to be. It's like they were contractually obligated in every film.
Yeah.
What do you guys give this movie scale 1 to 10?
10. That's a 10. Easy.
Yeah, it is 10.
Yep, 10.
Daniel?
I'd say 7.5, honestly.
There you go.
There you go.
Fight the fight.
Let them fight.
Oh my gosh.
Keeping us honest.
It's Alan's turn to pick.
Oh my God. Okay, here's what I want to do. I don't know if we've done it before, but we've done this one before. And it is Halloween. So I would like to do The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with
the Palance?
What's that?
Is it the Palance version? Jack Palance?
Yes, the one
I've never seen it.
is produced. Yeah, it's I believe it's on. I think it's on Tubi.
Yeah, I want to watch it too because I remember seeing it when I was a really small kid.
It was one of those wacky productions that started out one way and ended up another. I mean, they started up in one country and ended up in another. They were going to do it in England. They ended up doing it, I think, in Canada. And they originally had somebody else for the lead, and then Palance came along. It was just kind of weird. And then, of course, they pulled a bunch of the music from that production to augment the catalog at Dark Shadows as well. So it was kind of fun. But it's got a great cast. It's a really good cast.
Yeah, Jack Palance is really fun to watch in any movies. And so, City Slickers 1 and 2, anybody?
Well, I mean, that's when he finally got Academy Award was in the first
Well, he's
City
in
Slickers
two.
things.
Well, he is in two, but
Yeah,
so is all of the rest of City Slickers too.
yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there anything anybody wants to add before we go?
I'm good. I think we covered a lot of the fun stuff in this movie. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Link to Gord Dymowski's Amazon page and website is going to be in the description box. Link to Patrick McCray's Dark Chat as they book Unbound is going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel, Collins Port After Dark, is going to be in the description box. And link to Daniel Culver's YouTube channel, Magic Dove, will be in the description box. You gentlemen have a safe night. Take care.
Much obliged, gentlemen.
Yep, you can. Very good.